Hey, welcome again to the For Shytz and Giggles podcast. I'm your host, AJ, and I'm with my dog, Jarrell. What's up, Jarrell?
What's up, good people? How you doing, brother? What's up, Joe Nini? What's up, Z?
How are you doing? Joe Nini, how you doing, girl? How you doing this week?
I'm tired today. I'm tired.
You still young. What you doing tired?
Because I've been working on these white people time.
Ooh. And last but not least, we got my boo, Z. What's going on, boo?
Hey, y'all. What you good? Yes, I'm doing good. How are y'all doing today?
So I'm gonna laugh every time your silly ass say that shit.
Because I'm sick of the bullshit. What about you? Anyway, so what did everybody do this week?
Who should start?
Anybody? Well, we do know that on this Beyonce's internet renaissance is out. Yes, shout out to B for Renaissance, and I did have to do that. Yes.
I actually I didn't like the full album, but I did like the album. Like I didn't like every single song.
Well, yeah.
But
Joe Nini.
I haven't listened to the full album to fully say I didn't like the full album. I'm just gonna say it was just, for what I listened to. I get the vibe, but it feels different beats to certain songs. I could see myself liking certain songs more, but it was just the whole. I feel like I'm in the, you can't see my hand move back up. You can't see it, but it's the whole era that she's paying tribute to. That's just not my cup of tea. So it's cool for what it is. It just ain't for me.
Yeah, understandable. And remember, this is just Act 1. She got 2 more acts. She may switch the shit up. We don't know. We gonna see.
Look, I don't even think I'm gonna make it to Act 2 based off Act 1. You know that person that be in the play that leave during intercession. That's me.
You gonna put your finger up. Put your finger up and exit stage left. Yes, child. Z, what do you think about the album?
I mean, I didn't listen to the whole thing either, but it was okay for what that's all. I can't say much about it. Like, there's songs that I do like, but overall, most of the songs that I've heard, they may have to grow on me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. To me, her album is one of them albums that it has to grow. It's not, for me, it wasn't one of those albums where I'm just like, yes, throughout. You get what I'm saying? It's one of them albums I would have to hear a single individually. And that single would have to grow on me, like that challenge that they have Ranges doing right now.
Yeah. Right.
The take the plastic off the couch or off that, whatever the song called. When I heard Chloe sing, I said, oh shit, I like this or whatever. But when I hear the song itself, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have liked it.
Now look, be honest with yourself though. Are you coming to the table with an open mind, or are you like, oh bitch? Because a lot of people do this. They'll be like, oh, they overhyping Beyonce already. They overhyping the album, and then once you get to the album, you already kind of got that in your head. Like,
when it comes down to me, I personally get excited. I don't have to hear nobody else's excitement when it comes to her as an artist, because I've always loved her body of work. And I love how she always evolved, and so it's like when I hear she's coming out with another album, I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down. That's my natural response, because I feel like it's always at least one song for me that is I'm gonna fuck with heavy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that song isn't on the album because I haven't listened to the whole album. I'm just saying, like, based off the beats that I've heard thus far.
I will say her transitions to each song were like flawless.
I've
never heard anything like that before. So I give her credit for that.
Like I give her credit for her work ethic. You get what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say that.
When we make a body of work, it's a body of work. It's not just okay.
It's an experience.
Here's a single. Here's a single. Here's a single. All of her work is cohesive. Like the album is truly an album. You get what I'm saying? So I give her that. Ain't nobody working like her. Ain't nobody albums like her. And what she do, it's just not for me so far.
The first album.
The first album.
Yeah. For me, it's like I was expecting more from what people were saying. I was expecting more of like the old school Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I got excited. But when I was hearing it, I was like, okay, this kind of sound like the stuff we've been hearing for the past couple of years. You know?
I don't think that.
No, I'm talking at first. So I'm like, but like I said, as I listen to some of the songs, I'm like, okay, well, okay, they they're doing something. But I'm not overall. I'm not all that excited about the album. It hasn't hit me yet, I guess.
What for me is it's just the disco feel for me. That's the only thing about
the whole
it
genre. You saying the whole genre?
The era is that's the only thing about it. But do it sound like? Of course, it's gonna sound like her because it's her voice or whatever. Yeah. But to say it sounds like the rest of her body work, hell no. I'm not gonna say that.
I'm speaking as far as like no. I'm speaking as far as like vocals.
Work is different.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. But I'm saying when people were saying, "Oh, much," was like, "Oh, this is giving back in the day Beyonce." Da da da. So I'm thinking like, okay, giving actual vocals. You know what I'm saying?
Whoever said that slapped them. Because I don't get OB from this album so far at all. I don't know.
Right.
Wait.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
I get evolved Beyonce, but in the sense of what Z talking about, where people were saying that they wanted to hear more Beyonce actually singing, because you know with her last couple of albums she was like rap singing a lot. She's doing that as well with this because she's evolved to different sounds, but a couple of those songs, like the one you was talking about, the Plastic on the Sofa, and then Virgo's Groove, I think.
Yeah.
She is definitely singing and she's running and she's doing all of the things. So I think in that sense, she was giving a hat, tilt to those people saying, "Oh, Beyonce don't sing no more." So she like, okay, I have evolved to a certain place, but I'm still gonna give y'all some vocals.
And
so
see,
this is for y'all.
And she's kind of always done that.
Yeah, she has.
It's like she did it in a singing tone, like on what was the song? Was it Bills, Bills, Bills? She's kind of singing but rapping the same thing. Yeah. So it's like
she just did it more. She really stepped into it more with this album, and then she kind of did the cat call, the cat. She was doing some of that in there with this album.
She paid a homage, okay?
Well, I would say what I do like about this album is that she is really talking her ish. Like this time, she's really like, I'm like, oh, she's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna just go. I'm gonna go.
You know what I do like? What song I do like, which is like, duh, bitch, because I'm a female or whatever, is that "Break My Soul" remix with Madonna. And yes, and she's going back to the Queens, Nina Simone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kelly Rowland.
I haven't heard it.
I posted it in the group, but you probably haven't heard it yet, Jarrell. But
I haven't heard it either.
I posted it in the group and I listened to it last night. Jonini heard it, but basically what she did was she mashed together "Break My Soul" and Madonna. Is it Vogue? Vogue. And it sounds so good. And like Jonini was saying, she was paying homage to Nina Simone, Kelly Rowland, Solange, Chloe and Halle. Who else?
Shane. Watch that.
Jill Scott.
Why she didn't say Michelle?
She did say Michelle. I did see some of Michelle.
I don't know. However, at the end of the song, she started saying different houses, like the House of Balmain, the House of this,
the House of Ninja.
Listen, y'all got to see. Y'all got to listen to it.
I gotta hear
that. Posted in the group.
AJ, you know me and you here. You get what I'm saying? When it comes down to all this.
We keep our ear to the streets. Right. We keep our ear to the streets.
This is true. Okay, I have a question though. Okay, so how do y'all feel? Even though we already talked about it before, but we want to reiterate it again. How do y'all feel about the whole Khalees thing? How she felt about the whole Beyonce song?
It's the entitlement for me.
She played herself.
I'm gonna go last.
You didn't write the song. You didn't write it. You didn't produce it.
You didn't produce
anything.
Look,
and you got mad and you played yourself.
Said, you know what? I ain't get the bad for the original song. B, I don't want the bad from you. What?
Right, like you just killed what could have been possibility of your
Beyonce. Beyonce's like, bitch, I'm trying to give you credit.
Exactly. Now y'all know I gotta.
And then she didn't even have to, because truth be told, you ain't on nothing to me.
Exactly.
Like,
So y'all know with me, I have to talk about the spiritual part of it. For me, that's a prime example of how you can let past things hold you down from moving forward and getting better opportunities, getting a better bag. You still letting this shit hold you down. And that's exactly what she did, in my opinion. Just like y'all was saying, Beyonce really didn't owe her anything, and she was actually trying to, give her credit, because I'm sure she knows that she doesn't own the publishing. She does not. Pharrell or whoever, somebody allegedly. Let me say that.
Pharrell.
Somebody else owned the damn shit, and that's just what it is. And I can understand if she used like she didn't even use her actual voice on the song.
Nope,
like it wasn't.
She didn't.
It ain't
She
like it was
used
a big
an interpolation of her song.
Yeah.
But
And
the thing
she
is,
still put her name on the thing, and like
On her
she could have made appearances at a concert, anything, and it could have brought more bags and more opportunity. But she said,
But what I didn't understand was, okay, she said allegedly. No, she said they were friends. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was, why not call her up and be like, look, this is XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You went straight publicly.
yeah.
I guess you feel like Beyonce ain't called her and asked her for it, but am I the only one that was never a real fan of Khalees?
Me neither.
I like a couple of her songs, but I wouldn't say that I was a fan.
I wouldn't say I was a fan, but I do respect her originality and her artistry. I respect all of that.
But I can't even remember what song she did besides Milkshake. I was about to say
Milkshake.
That's all I know.
And the I hate you so much.
You so much.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Was that her
like
song or was that Janet Jackson?
No,
that was
her.
Janet Jackson did
Scream.
No, not that. It's the one she did with Missy. It's like I bet you think this song is about you.
Yeah, that's that Janet
okay.
Jackson was on that. Ha ha hoo, where'd you get the money to?
Yeah.
Gritty, try to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
I thought that was Janet.
No.
So we did.
It's two different ones. Two different ones.
But we did 2 out of 3. We did good. We was able to name 2. Jonini asked us to name 3 songs from Khalees. We did 2. So that was good.
I'm gonna say 1.5 because I thought it was somebody else's.
1.5, really?
I mean, I would say that I kind of agree with her when she was saying that people in the industry kind of swindle you out of shit. But you literally called this woman a thief. Like you literally got online and called this woman a thief and said that she stole your shit.
And she is a thief. She stole that bag right back.
She snatched it back. But exactly. it was just misdirected anger.
What irks me though is now everybody, people they starting trying to come out of the woodworks, trying to make her change stuff. Like Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
Girl,
if you don't sit your dick
baby, you have, it's like I said, baby, you solidified yourself in U.S. history. You that girl.
You are for everyone to know.
Y'all know.
As
no, but look, y'all know I watch T.S. Madison all the time. I watch T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison said, bitch, you supposed to be feeling good about yourself. You on the Mount Rushmore of sucking dick.
Exactly.
Look, Madison talking about she gonna get Lewinsky tatted right here on her neck. So when niggas see that, they see that Lewinsky, they know what that means.
They know.
That's the ML.
How many sidelines can publicly say,
Lewinsky?
And none. That's the ML Guap 3000.
Right. I get the president of Guap, okay?
The president. You're supposed to be the president of the most powerful man at the time in the world.
And the world.
He served 2 terms, baby.
And served you too. And
Clinton, he can play the saxophone and all. He was, he was down with the call.
She can too.
She played that
saxophone.
She played the hell out of that flute.
Everybody, let's give a round of applause for the flute players out there in the world. Flute players. Round of applause for the flute players. All right,
exactly.
Y'all. So listen, we got to get down to business because I'm checking the time. Okay, so the subject that we really wanted to come and talk to everybody about, and I want all of my co-hosts to give me their opinions.
I ain't got no name to do all that.
It's a very serious Y'all retarded. It's a serious thing because it's about the maternal mortality rate. And why is it that Black women are at the top of that? So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna give y'all some statistics, and then I'm gonna ask each of y'all, how do y'all feel about this? So maternal mortality rate is basically about women are dying either during pregnancy or while giving birth. And at that rate, Black women are at the top of the list. So here's the statistics from the year of 2000. 20 for every 100,000 births, there's 22 deaths for the Black women, as opposed to nationally, that means in the United States, for every 100,000 births, there's only 9 deaths. So Black women are 2 times as much likely to die either during with complications of pregnancy or complications of birth. Why do y'all think that is before we get any further?
So I would just say, historically in this country, they've never really cared about how, Black women were treated when it came to, just them in the hospital. That's just like way back when they used to actually experiment on them without any anesthesia or anything, and they would do all this shit to them. So it's just like they feel that Black women can take pain a lot better than other people. So when they're dealing with shit, they kind of dismiss it. That's personally my small take on that.
Do y'all think that there is a certain bit of biases that goes along with that? With Absolutely. The doctors? Jonini, you've been the woman in the group that has actually gone through the process of going to the doctors and you had complications, and then you're giving birth. What was your experience like, concerning this?
Okay, so when it came down to having Ari, I had Ari at 27 weeks or whatever. My experience with that, with Ariana's pregnancy, it was okay. My doctor, he was an asshole. Due to it being my first pregnancy, due to me having her so early, I had to have an emergency C-section. I still had to go through the whole epidural thing and all that. And then so I had some awesome ass nurses. I really wish I remember their names, but it was in 2015. But it was at Plantation General in Plantation, Florida. And they had music playing. They were singing with me. I was all in that bitch singing, crying, boo-boo, all snot out the nose. Them nurses had my back. The doctor came in, was like, what the fuck is going on? I'll turn that shit down. Literally, those is words. The nurses was like, we're trying to calm her down before we give her anesthesia. And he's like, well, can you hurry it up? And the nurse was like, it's going to take however long it needs to take to calm her down before we have this procedure. You need to get out.
So like, in your experience, the nurses were really
the nurses had
the actual back. Physician, yeah. The actual physician that was giving the birth, he was an
asshole.
Oh, okay. Well, we gonna go and say
I would say his name, but he was an asshole. I'm not.
We ain't gonna do that.
I lost the baby. Her name was Joy. I lost her at 37 weeks. Now I lost her at Broward General. This is the bad or whatever. Broward General Hospital in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, maternity ward is trash. It's been updated. Yeah, it looks nice, but the nurses were trash. When I came in there, I'm thinking I'm having Braxton hiccups or something like that because I'm having contractions. These motherfuckers still checking in my pussy to see if I'm dilated. And I'm like, listen, I have a C-section. Me being dilated is neither here nor there. They're saying the machine is, oh, you're not in that much pain. You're not. When I tell you I've never felt any pain like that day in my life. If you want to compare a contraction to anything, I would say it's like a menstrual cramp on steroids. Now, this is something I've never felt ever in my life. And kudos to women because, bitch, I drove myself to the hospital in between red lights, all that shit. I was feeling it. But when I was there, them hoes started, oh, you're not in that much pain. Them bitches made me walk from the waiting room and the maternity, to where I was going to be housed at. I told them something wasn't right. Something was wrong. They're like, well, you told us not to touch you. I said, bitch, I could have fought you as much pain as I was in. Your job is to listen to me and pay attention to what I'm saying. My doctor at the time, his ass, he was no fucking better as well. And he was a black man. So I don't even want to be like, oh, you know, white doctors and white nurses. My OB at that time, he was a black man. You get what I'm saying? And he didn't do what he was supposed to do. The nurses at the time was black and white. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? I woke up from an emergency C-section. My baby on the little table is dead, just as blue. You get what I'm saying? I wake up and I see everybody on my family and that bitch crying. Like the fuck? Like, anyway. So when it came down to me having Trinity, I went back to plantation. And then they were like, well, what happened? And I told them everything. And they're just, you know, they were very sympathetic. And keep in mind, all of my girls were emergency C-sections. All of my girls were preemies. Ariana was 27 weeks. Joy, she wouldn't have been considered preemie, but she was 37 weeks. And Trinity was 34 weeks. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like the medical staff is sometimes it's based off the passion that these people have for their job.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these doctors and nurses, they're just there for a check. You get paid for every, like the doctor get paid more for every surgery they have.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So it's gonna be based off, hey, you got full coverage? Oh, great. They want that check.
Ooh,
hey,
okay, wait. So
you took it right out of my mouth.
No, wait, she getting ahead. Wait, because we're gonna talk about the differences in the dynamic of insurances too. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
So real quick.
But there is a difference in how Black women are treated in the hospital than their counterparts. It's a big ass difference. I don't even want to say people of color. Fuck that. Black people, Black women are treated completely different.
Exactly. And for y'all that's watching,
real quick.
Go ahead, Jarrell.
So earlier this year, Dee niece, was it earlier this year? So last year, Dee niece got pregnant, right? And so earlier this year, she was like having some pains. And she went to the doctor. Anybody that lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina, if you can stay away from Cape Fear Valley, please do. So she went to Cape Fear Valley and she was having pains. They made it seem as if she wasn't having pains as she was describing. Sent her home. A couple of days later, she was having pains again. Went back to the doctor. Again, same thing. They sent her home. So when she went home, next thing you know, Dee get a phone call. Maya, his niece is on the phone, hard down crying. She said, the baby's in my hands. And he was like, what do you mean? She was like, I was using the bathroom and the baby came out. Whole time she was going and having pains, the baby was still
she was late in labor. She was in labor.
And so she ended up using the bathroom and the baby, she was bleeding real bad. And then the baby just came out while she was using the bathroom. She had the baby in her hands and she was just bawling, all because they didn't do their job and thoroughly like do an examination of what was going on.
What was really going on with her.
It's just, it's crazy that she even had to deal with that because she's only 18. So the fact that she even had to deal with that was just, I know, just traumatic in itself.
Right.
It's her first pregnancy to have a stillborn child, but for you to be using the bathroom and then it come out
and come out
child in your hands, I can just only imagine the pain behind that.
So I want to give y'all some more statistics because remember I said that statistic that I gave y'all was back in 2000. So which was the double the rate of the national rate. Black women are having deaths either during birth or having complications during pregnancy. So in 2019, that rate doubled. So now we're not at 22 deaths, we're at 44 deaths. And from the year of 2019 to 2020, now we're at 55 deaths. So how do y'all feel about not only have we doubled the number, but it is also showing that it's speeding up more rapidly in today because now we at 2022. So the deaths in this time period is speeding up. Why is that for our Black women? When America is supposed to have one of the greatest healthcare systems in the world, we're not a third world country. Why is it that Black women are dying either during pregnancy or during childbirth.
Do we have the best healthcare?
Right. No. I was just about to say that.
I mean, that's what the girls say.
You're not gonna sit here and tell me that our healthcare better than Canada.
Yeah, because that's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, for one, they already get free healthcare at that, and then I don't know. Okay.
I refuse to believe our healthcare is better than Canada.
I can't.
Yeah.
Because people they try to. Okay, so you know that when we have people watch us, there's gonna be people that agree with us, and people is gonna have our naysayers.
Right.
So the naysayers are gonna bring the healthcare center, and then also they're gonna say that Black women, because we have different things. So we already know Black people, we have a predisposed diagnosis of like we're more prone to get hypertension, which is high blood pressure, than other races. So how much of this problem is we're already predisposed of complications, and then how much of it is quality of care, biases of doctors and nurses, prejudices of doctors and nurses? Like how much of that is really a part of the problem?
Okay, so when I had my pregnancies, when I had Ari, I was a lot smaller than this or whatever. And I had preeclampsia. You get what I'm saying? So if anyone that don't know, preeclampsia is pretty much a diagnosis of high blood pressure while pregnant or whatever. Now, with me being this size now, I had preeclampsia for all 3 pregnancies. But let's be clear, my fat ass, when I'm not pregnant, I ain't got no high blood pressure, no pre-hypertension, ain't shit wrong with my fat ass. I'm fat. Okay? It has nothing to do with, she can't turn a plate away. No, but I might eat once a day. So it's me lack of eating or whatever. Anyway, so with that being said, while I'm pregnant, it's like soon as my body recognizes that I'm pregnant, bitch, here come headaches, here comes swelling, here come all that shit. I'm like, damn, bitch, fuck. Can I have a normal pregnancy? The answer is no. Yeah, I'm not. So I will give it to my doctors. I have to take baby aspirin. But it's not like I'm taking a full pill. They're like, okay, take a half a pill. If you know baby aspirin is probably the size of a grain of fucking rice, can you imagine breaking that shit in half?
Yeah.
So I have to take baby aspirin, or then they'll prescribe me labetalol, which pretty much is high blood pressure medicine. And depending on how bad it is, I'll either take one once a day, or once in the morning, or once in the evening, or whatever. So it's like I have the medical care because after what I've gone through, everything that I've gone through with the losing of Joy and Ari coming so early and everything, when it came down to Trinity, I was at the doctor's office. I went to the doctor like 3 times a week, no exaggeration. I was at the hospital once a week, no exaggeration. But like I said, this was ordered with me going to a completely different doctor. I went to the first doctor office that I went to with Ariana, but that doctor, he was no longer there. So I had a different doctor. Hey, Dr. Blizz. Like, I would give him a shout out. So he didn't even play with my ass. And he was straight. He's like, I'm not gonna play with you. You're overweight. You did. You this. You're like, you're high risk. You've lost a child. Then your other one came extremely early. And he was like, I need you to do what you're supposed to do so that you can live and this baby can live. And another thing, when it comes down to doctors and nurses that really care, but for Ariana and when it came to Dr. Bliss, they're straight up, they're like, our job is to save your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. Like, I'm like, no, save my baby. They said, no, we're gonna save you.
You got another one to live for.
They said that even with Ariana. They were like, if we could get to the baby, we're gonna get to the baby. But we trying to
save you. Exactly.
Their thing is, what kind of life would the baby have without you? If we save you, you'll be able to have another.
Right.
So that's the logic of doctors that truly care. You get what I'm saying? Say that's just a fucked up logic, granted, but at the same time, they show that they cared about me and my quality of life.
And that's what counts.
Dr. Bliss, he spoke hard to me, and then that's the kind of doctor that he didn't sugarcoat it with none of his patients. He was just more or less like, listen, this is what we got to do to save your life. This is what we're going to do to save your life and everything.
This is what we got on the table.
And see,
right.
That's what
I want to ask thee a question too.
But that's what I was saying too. I was like, is the problem is a lot of doctors and nurses don't care. And they don't care enough to even look into the files of these people and realize some of these people are high risk pregnancies.
But see, that's what I wanted to ask you and Jarrell. How much of this is about race? Because Black women are 3 times more likely to die during pregnancy and birth than white women. So that means somebody with the same complications, the same situation that Jonini had, a white woman with that same setup has 3 times, she's 3 times more likely to walk out of that hospital healthy. Why is that, Jarrell?
Well, it goes back to what I said before. One, we don't have the access like a lot of our counterparts do. You know what I mean? And we never have, even to this day. I mean, hell, there was a time in history where we couldn't even go to the hospitals. A lot of Black people had to go to the vets to get care. And even then, they would have to go through the back door. So when it comes to our care, they don't care. And hell, even when it comes down to our access to healthy foods, we normally don't have that in our neighborhoods. So it's just a fact of the system in this country is not set up for us to win or succeed. And that goes into our healthcare as well. It's not meant for us to get better because they really do believe that we can take things greater than anyone else. And even if we could, that still doesn't mean that you deny us the care that we deserve.
Right. But I also said, I'm going to say it does play a part too. And I also want to agree too, because even if they did have the access to these things, a lot of doctors feel like, okay, because they are a Black woman or whatever, they're not as smart or whatever. They're like, listen, we're not gonna mention to her. She'll be okay. Opposed to the white woman, we're gonna let her know all the resources she has. She's gonna, they're gonna give her all of that.
That's what I was about to get on. What Jarrell said was it's 100% true when it come down to say they feel as if we're stronger. They feel as if we're genetically inclined to handle more pain than the weaker race or whatever. That's one. For 2, it's ignorance.
And they just don't. They just
ignorant.
For 3, they just don't give a damn.
I'm on to speak.
They
on
might be number 1. They don't care.
I want to speak on the nutrition thing because what Z said, like some of them don't give you the resources or let you know the resources, especially someone like Jarrell said, his friend's niece being 18 years old, she might not know of the nutrition resources of WIC that's available to her being pregnant. Because I didn't know at first, I can still get WIC while pregnant. I thought I had to wait till after I had a baby. No, bitch, you can get WIC while being pregnant. You're able to be, there's a thing called pregnancy Medicaid and everything where you're able to be on Medicaid while pregnant as well as Medicaid after you have your baby, whatever, you get what I'm saying? So you do have a certain level of medical that you're able to, that you have access to. But let's be clear, really great doctors, not denying those who accept Medicaid or whatever, but there are doctors that don't accept Medicaid. Because my niece, she had a doctor. She's like, oh, auntie, I'm gonna refer you to him. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me get his name. I called his office. They're like, yeah, we don't accept Medicaid.
See, we hear, because that's the next place I'm getting ready to go when it comes to the dynamics of why Black women at the top of the list. It also goes down to the insurances. A lot of the higher, more educated, I should say, doctors, they don't take the types of insurances that are available to our community. We might not be able to pay insurance out of pocket or pay for doctor visits out of the pocket. And those where are the experts, the Harvard doctors and all them motherfuckers, they don't take Medicaid. So that also is a part of, it's the education of the doctors. The doctors just don't give a fuck. It's medical issues. It's a lot of it that takes account for why Black women are atop at this list.
Yeah, and also too, when it also comes with insurance, they know and understand that most Black people are gonna go for the cheaper insurance anyway. that don't really offer shit.
I would say more affordable.
Yes, they don't really offer much of nothing. So they're gonna be like, okay, well, you can't afford this. I'm gonna give you this the amount of care that this is offering. That's it. Opposed to somebody else who can afford a higher or a better, insurance plan. They're like, oh, this person got this. Okay, we're gonna do the best for this person. We're gonna make sure she got this and that. And they do that. And it's sad because they play on it.
And like Jonini was saying,
there are doctors that do that. And but it's like I said, like I don't know. And I am going to speak life into this man until no end. My last OB, Dr. Bliss, I'm gonna speak life into this man. I don't know his educational background or what school, but he accepted Medicaid, and can't nobody tell me that this man didn't save me my baby. You get what I'm saying?
Does not care.
That does not care. Because when I came back, he was like, "Okay, let me see my baby. Let me see my baby." Because he wanted to see Trinity. He wanted to see my blessing. You get what I'm saying? That he gave me. So it's like I can't speak on his educational background, but I could say that him and the staff that works at Sun Life, granted they have a ghetto ass office in Plantation or whatever, but I can't deny them hoes care. You get what I'm saying?
They care, and see that's the most important thing.
Because I had a couple of them that been like, listen, this is what you can do. This is what your insurance covers, but this is what you need to do. Boom, 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 in order to get this. I've had, it's fucked up that they have to pull you to the side and say this. You get what I'm saying? It's fucked up that they job don't permit. But you'll be surprised at the people that you meet there too, because you have people that be in the waiting room, but like, listen, this is what you could do. Call your insurance and switch it to this in order for when you be able to take this test, it won't take as long, or you won't have to go through the school. You get what I'm saying? So it's so much that's fucked up. This is not a perfect health system, not by any means. So when people be on, like when you have made the statement saying, "Oh, the U.S. is the best," is it though?
Is it really though?
Is it really though? Like And
a sad part too. A sad thing too is you have most nurses care about their patients than the doctors care about their own patients, and that's the sad part.
The thing is with the doctors, the nurses are always the one that really take care of you. The doctors don't. If you've ever been admitted into a hospital, it's the nurses that care for you. The doctors will come. You will wait all day for a 3-minute visit.
Yeah.
Oh, the doctor, he'll be here between 9 and 5. Bitch, that's a whole shift. What you mean? Well, the doctor has to give the okay for you to be released. Bitch, when? You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like the doctor will come there for 2-3 minutes, but the nurses are there. That's who I appreciate the most. The nurses. Even after having Trinity, my brother's ex-girlfriend, she was my nurse. You get what I'm saying? And she helped wipe my ass and at least help the panties and shit so I can wipe my ass.
Right.
Shout out to the females who ever had a C-section, baby. You know my struggle.
And I do want to take this moment real quick and give a shout out to my girl, my sister Jonini. You have shown yourself to be a strong woman. You have persevered through a lot of shit. Yeah, like for real. This ain't even a show. Like this from brother to sister, and I know Jarrell and Z agree. Like you have persevered through a lot. So I want to give you your flowers now on that. And we ain't gonna get emotional. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it because
that's another issue.
I'm the water bag in the group, and I start crying in 2 seconds. So we not gonna do that.
I was gonna say that's another issue too. Because we say that a lot about Black women, about their strength, and it's like because we say that, they feel like they can take on more than a lot of other people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, and it's sad that we can't say that because of the consequences that come behind that. But just us saying, oh, you're a strong Black woman, it's just like, it seems like, what am I trying to say?
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I feel like it seems that when people are like, oh, you're a strong Black woman, it makes it okay for a bitch to pile more shit on me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or because you're a strong Black woman, to where you don't have no feelings, you don't have no emotion. Like it's not okay to be vulnerable.
That's a good word, vulnerable. Yeah. And also I want to add to that real quick, to be vulnerable and feel protected.
Right.
That's the one.
Though I like that. So
definitely
I'm not saying that. I'm just acknowledging,
where
it happened. Yeah, I know, brother. I'm just saying it for the people that's listening. But yeah, I lost it. It went that way. But but yes, definitely flowers to sister. This is definitely something that we all, so at this moment we would say definitely try to get, if we're talking to the young girls out there or just whatever, the Black women out there that is going through a pregnancy, the most important part of that is not only having your support system at home, but having a good healthcare system behind you. People, the main word in that is care. Having a good healthcare system, because that really could mean life or death in your situation and or your baby's situation.
And know this, ladies, know this. If you have an OB or anyone and you're not giving good, it's not giving you that good energy or make you feel protected or care for, bitch, leave him. Leave them. You can go somewhere else.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Huh?
Yeah. I think you took the words right out of my mouth, because I'm about to say,
somewhere, you have options.
Yes.
Because you should feel protected, that you're being most vulnerable. You're laying on that table with your legs wide open, and you have another life in you. Anything could happen to that baby as well as you. It's considering, especially now that they're considering the point of conception, livelihood and everything. And if you live in Georgia, they're now saying that you could claim that unborn on your W-2s.
Yes, child. Yeah.
So you get up to 3,000. So
you can get per child, yeah.
Right.
But see, we ain't gonna get. I'm gonna just say this because we ain't gonna go to that.
Because
my question is, if you have a stillbirth or something that happens, do you not have to pay the money back? So all of those questions are gonna come up with that. But so go ahead, Z. Before I go to the next.
No, I was just about to say, like, before you even get to the delivery process, when you first walk in the doctor's office, when you tell them that you're pregnant or whatever the case may be, like Jonini said, feel the energy out. If you feel like, okay, something is not right about this doctor's office or this hospital, from day one, go, leave, abandon, abort ship, go, find something different.
Yeah.
Well, when you first walk in, ultimately it's just it's like triage. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You do the paperwork or whatever. You don't necessarily even meet the doctor right away or whatever. Like I said, it's triage. You're doing paperwork, and then they're asking you questions. Oh, point of conception. They might do an ultrasound or schedule an ultrasound or whatever. You might see the doctor actually the second visit and everything. Yeah. But they have a tendency, there's gonna be hit and miss. They either like very nonchalant, or like Dr. Bliss, he was cool and rude at the same time.
But see, that's the thing. Like you can,
but like you saying,
you can pick
at
that
the
out,
point,
though.
whatever point that you get to a point where you don't feel comfortable, or you feel like they're not really listening to you, and you telling them what's going on with your body, leave or get another opinion, because it could mean life or death. So that brings me into, because right now we've been focusing on pregnancies and in the birth, the maternal mortality rate in Black women. But what about just the whole healthcare period? Not just having babies, just Black women going to see the doctor, period. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I wanted, we talked about this in the group where the lady went to go get surgery, and she put a microphone in her hair, and she heard the doctors talking about her. So this is what the story was. The lady went to get a hernia surgery, to get her hernia taken care of. And at the Lyndon B. Johnson Hospital in Houston, Texas, she got there and the doctor told her, okay, we're going to do the surgery in 2 months. She was sitting there crying. She's like, why am I having to wait 2 months? He turned and told her, who do you think you are? Basically saying like, why do you feel like you need surgery? Like, you deserve surgery now. I told you we're going to do it in 2 months. So if a doctor told you that, or a surgeon told you that, would you have stayed? Would you have gone? What would you have done? And then I'm going to tell the rest of the story.
I would have left.
Yeah, I would have left.
I went through something similar. Well, it wasn't similar to that. Because I remember one time I was having issues with my skin. And y'all know, prior military, I can go to the Veteran Affairs Hospital. And so I went to the doctor and I told her my issues that I was having. She said, well, I don't see anything on your skin. And I said, I never told you I had anything on my skin. I said, it was something going on with my skin where it felt like it was on fire or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm telling her that. She was like, well, I don't see anything. I'm like, what are you looking for? I didn't tell you that I had anything. I just said, it feels like my skin is on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
So she went and told the other doctor, and the doctor came in and she's looking me over. I'm like, what are y'all looking for? There's nothing on me. I had to literally tell, I said, ma'am, I never told y'all anything about anything being on my skin. I said, it feels like my skin is on fire. And so they didn't know what to do. I said, you know what? That's okay. I just literally just got up and just left. And so she was like, you don't want us to help you? I said, you're not helping me. Y'all not even listening to me. So yeah, I just got up and I left. I actually made sure that I never went back to see them. I went to another department. Actually, I went back to my primary care doctor and I spoke to her, and she directed me to another doctor. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they just don't actually take the time to listen. Something over here is my bad.
Go ahead, brother. Z, how do you feel about if you were in that situation and you went to see a doctor, they basically not acknowledging how you feel, not acknowledging what the fuck you going through? How would you react?
Okay, you know what? I'm good. I gotta go. And I go find me something else, because why would I want to sit there? First of all, they're gonna charge me anyway. You know what I'm saying? For just visiting them.
Just for the visit.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, y'all got y'all little money. Let me go find somebody else, because I'd rather pay somebody else who's going to actually analyze me like I need to be analyzed and help me assess my situation than for you to sit here and tell me, oh, it's not nothing. Then I got to come back to you. I'm paying you a double time for you to still not do your job. No, I'm not. We're wasting our time, both of us. No, I got to go.
Yeah.
Like y'all, I would leave. Personally, it's like, okay, fine. She may have still needed to wait 2 months. You get what I'm saying? But it was his delivery that's fucked up. You get what I'm saying? What make you hold on, sir? Pump your brakes.
What makes you so special?
Bitch, pump your brakes.
Exactly.
Right. You're ma'am, you're okay. We can do this surgery in 2 months. What makes you so special that I have to do it today?
What can I do for pain? Because this shit is hurting. You get what I'm saying? It's communication. He had piss poor bedside manner. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He can't hear too well.
Yeah. So listen, that's not where it ends. So after she came in with the hernia problem, she trying to get the hernia surgery done. He done got an attitude, told her, what makes you so special? We're gonna do it in 2 months. She comes back. It ended up not being 2 months. It ended up being maybe a month later when they finally decided to do the surgery. She's kept the surgery. Then she goes back, and another doctor told her that in her chart, the one surgeon said that he put a note in her chart saying that she was a handful. Like this was a handful.
Like difficult, like she's a difficult.
She's difficult. This was a handful. How y'all feel about that? Because for me, now you're kind of putting the next surgeon or the next nurse in a space of because they reading this chart. So now what are your chances of the next doctor and the next nurse caring when they see stuff like this?
They're not. They're gonna be like, okay, well, she already a handful. Let me approach this a different way. You know, it's no. Now you've been diminishing my name, and I'm telling you this is what's going on, but you don't want to listen. So now the next person who's going to assist me gonna feel the same way without even they judge me already without even me having any type of interaction with them. That's crazy.
Is it a violation of patient doctor privilege or something? Like, don't be telling my business, even if I am a handful. Let them find out.
He also
but they have to document. They're gonna document though.
Yeah.
No, that's not nothing medical.
Yeah, it's not
HIPAA. You are to document only medical facts.
Right.
And pain of hernia on a scale of 0 to 10, pain level.
Right.
8.
Like, why is in my chart? Why is it in my chart that I'm a handful? Then he also put in her chart that she said she was threatening to call a lawyer. She said the woman allegedly said that she never threatened to call a lawyer. So why would he put something like this in her chart out of all places?
And the crazy part is she wouldn't even know that he put in the chart because we don't see the chart.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So fast forward. Now we're at the day. I'm coming, Jarrell. Now at the day of the surgery. She already not feeling comfortable. That's my thing. If you feel uncomfortable to the fact where you want to put, because what she did was put a recorder in her hair. She had a wig on or whatever. If you feel at that point, why are you still getting the surgery from them?
And I'm not.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, you about to put me under, cut me open, and I'm supposed to trust you after all this that happened?
Because it's clear that she don't trust them. Because why would you feel the need to record if you trusted them? Mm-hmm. So she played right there. She played right. Me either. Right there, she already done played in her own damn face. Because if I feel like I got to record and do all this, I'm not finna do it. So she puts the recorder in, and this is what she hears. She hears the doctor and the nurses joking around, making fun of her belly button. They call her precious. And then like every time another tech or something or nurse come in, you can hear people saying, "Oh, so go over there and say hey to Precious."
No.
Oh, that's Precious. That's Precious. That's Precious over there on the table. Go over there and say hey to Precious. All of this is on recording.
No, this is allegedly, people.
I remember it also saying something that she viewed it as racist. I don't see that being racist. If anything, it's fat phobic. But I don't see that being racist.
But the question is, should your surgeon and should your nurses be displaying this behavior in the middle of surgery? Like, why they doing your surgery?
Of course not. Of course not.
No.
Yeah.
But like they said, if you that uncomfortable to where you have to do that, then why? Why even put yourself at risk to even allow them to perform this surgery? To do that. Now knowing that you're gonna wake up after the surgery.
But now my next question is it a case of morale, or could that be likened to like a lawsuit? Can she really sue just because they said something?
No, they talking shit. That man is entitled to talk shit with his co-workers.
But at the same time, if she takes it to the judge gonna say the same thing. If you feel uncomfortable enough to have to plant something in your hair, why would you let them do it?
My thing is what AJ said. Can't she? No. What you suing for? Because you feel uncomfortable? Because they were talking about you?
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. She's gonna
did they do their job and did they do it?
Right.
That's what was it malpractice? No.
Right. So it may have not been ethical, but it was not malpractice.
Right.
Yeah. And then the thing is the thing is still gonna get her to make her lose. It's like, girl, okay, you suing now because they're talking shit about you, but you felt so comfortable enough, you still allowed them to do the surgery. No, you done.
But I just want to know where the racial part is. He calls me racial.
Okay. No, the reason why I brought that up, because what they were saying, maybe she was a big girl or whatever. But what the race part come in at is what do you think that if a white woman with the same layout as her, the same health situation as her, the same thing, would she have gotten the same treatment from the same doctors at the same time?
You know what? I'm not gonna always put race into it. Because that man, I'm not gonna always put race into it because that man could be a natural asshole.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If you're an asshole, sometimes you don't discriminate. White, black, Puerto Rican, it don't matter. Bitch, I'm an asshole 24/7. I don't discriminate. I'm equal opportunities. This mouth is bisexual, bitch. Anybody could get it. So
right.
So it don't matter. Or whatever. He's just a natural asshole.
And it also depends on what doctor or hospital you go to. It's just what it is.
Yeah. And then if you want to put that into play, the location, bitch, you did that to yourself. You didn't have to go.
Didn't.
You did.
And you allowed them. You allowed them to actually perform that surgery on you.
Besides, he could have been talking about Lord of the Rings. Remember that thing was like my precious. Maybe that's what you were talking about.
Now this is where real quick though. This is where it gets interesting and disturbing. So it says, and this is with the recorder now. It says after the doctor concurred that there had been many teaching moments that the anesthesiologist, so the man that's coming to put you under, him and the surgeon are talking. The anesthesiologist asked the surgeon, "Do you want me to touch her?" And he said, you can hear him saying, "I can touch her." The surgeon is heard saying, and then it says, "That's a Bill Cosby situation." Someone interjected. Everybody's got things on phones these days. Everybody's got cameras. Do you have photos? The surgeon asked a couple of times. Somebody said, I thought about it, but I didn't do it. So now how do we feel about the rest of this conversation? Because we can say, oh, it's not a race thing or whatever is going on. But now we have them on recording saying they gonna touch her and all kind of bullshit.
That's almost like a pedophilia type of stuff.
They joking around about it saying, oh, that's like a R. Kelly situation. Like they're doing all this while you laying unconscious on the table, supposed to be getting a hernia surgery.
That's still not about race, though.
That's not about race, though.
It still to me ain't on race. It still to me, she still has not convinced me that it's a racial thing. Now, morally, it's not sound. Ethically, it's not sound. Even professionally, it's still not sound because they shouldn't be speaking like that. But it's still sexual assault, though. Right. It goes to say, like, okay, let's say, AJ, you're a chef. I'm your sous chef, and whatever. Gerald and Z, they also part of it, and we catering, and we talking about, look at this fat motherfucker got us making all this motherfucking food. You know damn well this bitch ain't got no business eating it. We ain't got no business talking like that.
Right.
But bitch, we're doing a job. Is our job being done? Yes, our job is being done. Are we morally correct?
But do you think a white woman would have had the same experience? Is the question.
It just depends. It depends. They might have.
Like they as a whole. And I'm not talking about just at that hospital as a whole in that same situation. What is the likelihood? What is the likelihood that a white woman would have had the same experience?
It depends. I still don't think it's a race thing. It depends on the doctor you have and the location you go to. It doesn't matter about the race. That's still not a racial issue.
To me, I still don't feel like she was being racially, targeted or whatever. But to answer your question, I feel as if, it's a 50-50 chance. Is she in the South? That shit ain't gonna happen to no white hoe. Is she in the South? Sure as hell ain't. I don't see it happening to a white hoe or whatever. Maybe North or Midwest. They
go to California, they might.
They gonna handle business for her ass. But in this,
So real quick before we close out, because we're coming up on time. Now, this is from the Washington Post. This is not for shits and giggles. Let me make that clear. So they said that last fall, Esther sent that was the lady named Esther. She sent the hospital a letter with her complaints with the recording attached. Stacy Mitchell, the administrative director of risk management and patient safety for the Harris Health System, responded by thanking her for providing them a copy of the recording to better analyze her concerns. Now, this is where it gets funny. The lady said, with regards to the recording, as I explained in my prior correspondence, to me, when I hear that, that's like, bitch, like I said in the like I said in the last motherfucking email.
Right.
So right there, I was like, okay, so this bitch out of chain. So she said, with regards to the recording, as I explained in my prior correspondence, we reminded the OR staff and physicians to be mindful of their comments at all times. Mitchell said in a letter dated in December, after carefully listening to the recording that you provided, Harris Health does not believe further action is warranted at this time. So they said, we told our staff to watch their mouth and nothing else. That's it.
And that's good.
But my question is for her, what would she have wanted to be done? Would she want an apology?
I believe she wanted an apology. Of course, she wanted to be liquidated. She wanted the liquid to come down on her. She wanted to be liquidated.
But it's nothing that they would have done, because it's like we said, okay, it ain't a racial issue. When it comes to her sexual assault, you can't prove that it happened. They were talking about it.
They can't prove because they got it on recording.
What they got is a conversation.
Yes.
That have been taking that direction.
But you still got to prove it.
The anesthesiologist said, do you want me to touch her? Or whatever. That could mean anything. You get what I'm saying?
No, they was really talking.
We don't know that. They was really talking about that.
But he insinuated, he was like, it's an R. Kelly situation.
Okay, but he can insinuate.
Yeah, that could be a dirty joke. Think about me and Jarrell's sense of humor.
Right.
Now, I agree with y'all. The whole recording is you know, it is what it is. They just talking. But the most incriminating part is that part when he's talking about touching her.
Right, but you still can't. But you still can't prove that he touched her. Yeah, he's actually touched her in that way.
That's what I'm saying. That part could be taken in any direction. She can't say that they did it. She can't even say that they were talking about it. She could only say it could be interpreted as
right.
It's based on interpretation.
Should she be compensated?
Also, they don't even know if they were talking. If they were talking about her, one of the doctors could have been showing somebody else's phone or something during the surgery, and he could have been talking about a whole different woman.
So being that it was just an audio recording and not an actual video recording, it does still leave open space.
Questions, yes,
yeah.
And I don't feel like she should be compensated because I'm like, okay, at the same time, you put yourself in that risk. If you already felt, like I said earlier, if you felt there was an issue to where you had to do that, why even allow them to perform something on you?
Two things.
Go ahead, Joe.
Compensation, ma'am. I'm sorry for my unprofessional manner. It would never happen again. As far as you know. Okay, that's one. Boom. Two, if she really wanted to push it at the end of the day, most operating rooms do have cameras. You get what I'm saying? Even if it's not for a teachable moment.
And that's what it is. All this is.
You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, you got your attorney, tell your attorney to get a warrant for them cameras.
Right.
Base it off the time in which your surgery has taken place to the visual and see, hey, where you touched.
Yeah.
Now, so her compensated is that bitch who that anesthesiologist or whatever the fuck the gas man actually stuck his dick in that woman's mouth.
Oh my God. I've seen that. We ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't got enough time.
Well,
yes. So crazy. Real quick, Esther's her statement. Her statement was, she said currently she just wants to let everybody know what was going on, make people aware of what was happening. The experience has changed Esther emotionally and psychologically, she said, and she now struggles with trust issues. Even my husband has said that I'm not the same person he married. So she's going on, you know, she got psychological stuff, you know, of course, after the fact, because she had a bad experience, and you just never know. So
you just going with your mind. Like,
I'm over it.
That's what I'm saying. You just think because you think you mentally visualize this happening to you because of the recording. That's just irksome. That just make your life change.
Look at Jarrell. Jarrell, what you got to say? Cause you got something.
Because it's like Z said, she put herself in that situation.
She did because
she had a bad experience from the beginning.
She had the red flags and she did not listen to them.
They were just throwing them red flags like it was football. Like, come on, man.
Yep.
And now you visually right. Now you visually put this audio in your mind as an actual video happening to you. Now that changed your life.
I have trust issues now.
She got trust issues. So look, everybody, we appreciate y'all for watching us right here at the For Shytz and Gigglez podcast. I do want to let everybody know that they have the Black Maternal Health Week. It's April the 11th through the 17th. So that is for our Black women. So Black Maternal Health Week is April the 11th through the 17th. And it brings attention and action in improving the Black maternal health during pregnancy and during birth. Also, go and check out the marshallproject.org. It has all of the statistics that we talked about today. It has resources for our women. It has resources for them during pregnancy, and then also resources even after birth, because also we are at the top of baby deaths from the time of birth to 1 year old. More of Black babies are dying maybe like 8 times as much as other races and ethnicities. So they have all of that there. So check it out. Thank y'all for watching For Shytz and Gigglez, bitch. You can watch us at what's our on universe, Jarrell? For Shytz and Gigglez .on he supposed to be on it now.
Shit, you know how much shit I be trying to fucking remember? We got
anyway. It will be attached down. It will be attached down below. Thank y'all for watching. Goodbye.
Follow me on IG, Joe Nini 86. Joe _ Nini 86.
Everything will be down below in the comment section thing.
In the comments, it'll be down below.
And make sure y'all check out my TikTok, ZEE _Pinky.
Bye.